Okay, awesome. So I am here with Erika Liu. And Erika, can you us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. My name's Erica. I am a born and raised Edmontonian, biggest fan. I love Edmonton and everything that it has to offer. I just started a new job, midlife career change. So I'm in the thick of that. And I've got two little ones at home, Teddy, who's 5, and Franklin, who's 20 months. So we have a busy household, just like navigating all the things that come with being a mom who works and also has a life and a husband and a family and friends. So that's kind of the stage of life that I'm in right now, is balancing all of that and finding time to take care of myself and have some fun along the way. But that's like a little bit about me and what I get up to every day.
Awesome. And I know like we've been working together for a long time. So what initially, because like you've mentioned, like there's been life changes, right? Work changes, babies, all of the things. But what initially led you to consider working with a naturopathic doctor?
You know, I think there was a few things that ultimately, I was just really curious about, and I wasn't necessarily getting the answers that I was seeking through my GP, for example. And I even if I think back, I mean, it's been over 10 years, like, I don't even think I had one. I don't think I
Mhm.
had a family doctor at that
Yeah.
point in my life. They were difficult to find, kinda like, hard to know where to start, and I had this benefit that I was like, "I've never used this before," and honestly, I was really just curious about what, naturopathic medicine could support me with at a time in my life where, um, I was, like, not feeling 100% in my body. My menstrual cycles were, like, a little bit out of control. I had, like, chronically low iron, and I was really just curious about, like, how I could feel better. Like, feeling strong has always been really important to me, and so I was like, I'm gonna try this out," and I found you.
And I love that because it's like you have the value of, like, feeling strong being
Yeah.
important as something in your life, and then figuring out, like, "Okay, well, how can I support this in other ways that I haven't explored yet?" And so what has changed for you when you think about the last 10 years?
Mhm.
I know, like we said, life has changed lots, but what has changed for you in your health, in your understanding of your health since working with a naturopathic doctor?
Yeah. I mean, I would say, like, I've gone to school with you. Like, I learned so much about my body and what's going on through so many phases of my life, and I'm so
Mhm.
grateful for that knowledge because it's allowed me to make really informed decisions about what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do, and not just make them blindly, but make them, like, in a very educated way, because that's what you do, is you teach people. Like I said, I had, really low iron. We couldn't, like, there was just a lot that I was trying and wasn't working. I had acne, the menstrual cycles. I had baby number 1, breastfed for 2 years, and then baby number 2, breastfed again. And then I kind of like came out of that and I'm like heading in towards that thing called perimenopause that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? So like there's been so many things that I can't imagine not having the knowledge that I've had from you and all of the practitioners that I've seen at Flow, um, and having a good time through that.
Mhm.
Like, really, naturopathic medicine has allowed me to enjoy so many of the aspects of my life that could have felt so much harder if I hadn't addressed the things that were bothering me, or that I wasn't feeling 100% about in my body. Yeah, I would say, like, before and after, for sure, I'm, like, a much more educated person.
Mm.
And I understand the value of not just treating the symptom, but treating the root. Like, what is
Yeah.
actually going on in my body? And that's what I've really learned along the way. It's like the biggest, I would say, change in approach that I've taken to my health.
It's so cool to hear you say, like, "I've gone to school," because it's like one of our naturopathic principles is actually all of them are Latin words, and the Latin word for doctor as teacher is docere, and so it's like doctor as teacher is one of our principles of naturopathic medicine, is that we're we want to show up in that way that gives you information to make an informed decision. And at times it's going to be that you choose the natural thing or the naturopathic thing. And at times it's going to be that you choose a conventional medicine or something
Yeah.
else. And like our job as doctor, as teacher is to give you that information so that you feel, like you said, confident in that decision making process, regardless of what the decision is, and then the outcome is aligned with your goals. So,
Yeah.
it was, like, such a beautiful story to illustrate that principle of what we do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I really feel that you all live that wholeheartedly in what you do from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave. I'm a more educated person.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
love it's so, like, warm fuzzies for me to
Yeah.
hear the lovely feedback. Um, and so along those lines, like, what would you say
Mm,
to somebody who's not sure about seeing,
mm.
an ND? Like, how would you help them make that decision? What would you say to
Yeah.
them?
I mean, these are some of the things that I have said to
Mhm.
people. Like you're going to get asked questions about your health that no one has ever asked you before or even considered. You've got, I don't know, something going on. They're going to ask you about your gut. Like they're going to ask you about all of the things that you would never consider to be connected or related to the thing that's bothering you or
Mhm.
the thing that you want to feel better. And that approach in itself is going to give you like a wide array of options that you can decide to do or not to do. And I think that's
Mhm.
the thing that I would tell someone is that everything you're offered is an option.
Yeah.
You can do it, and here's what will maybe happen. You can try it. Here's what will maybe happen. There's so many different paths, whereas sometimes it can feel like you might be prescribed something from a doctor, and that's the only choice. So, that's the other thing I would say is, like, you're gonna go in and you're gonna leave with a lot of choices that
Right.
that you get to decide, like, you're really the driver, um,
Yeah.
of what you end up doing and choosing. But, yeah, you're gonna get asked a lot of questions you didn't think were maybe even related to what you experiencing. The other thing that I would share is like naturopathic medicine, in my experience, is not anti Western medicine.
Totally.
It is like an incredibly comprehensive addition to that, to your
Mhm.
care, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Those are some
Yeah,
of
we're
the
not competing, like, we're
yeah.
not it's not this or that, it's like, and is that something that surprised you a little bit too, is, like, that idea of, like, we ask the questions that, like, A, you've never been asked, or B, you're like, "How is that even related?" Or is
Yeah.
there something else that really surprised you about the process?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big one. Like, I think when I first came in, even sometimes after I had maybe taken a break and seeing
Mhm.
you, I would
Mhm.
come back and be like, "I'm feeling okay. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have anything." And then you go ahead and you start asking these like really intuitive and deep questions. And I'm like, "Oh, but wait, actually, I
Mhm.
never considered that." And so it's like approaches things from a different angle that you haven't considered and opens the doors to potentially feeling even better than you maybe already think you do. Yeah. That was
Yeah,
really
that's
surprising.
cool. It's like, how do you it's like, "Okay, I'm okay here, but, like, how do I get to more than okay? Or how do I get to sort of, like, my best self in this moment, in this stage, in this phase of life?" Because it's always gonna be
Mhm.
changing, and I think that's something for me that I've learned over the years too, is that, like, you'll carry people to a point, and then they'll be well there for a while, and something will shift, and then I mean, that's the beautiful thing about what I do is, like, we create these relationships with people where, like, once they're well, they don't need us anymore until they do,
Yeah.
right? And we're always here. Like, we're
Mhm.
not it's not like, "Oh, we fixed your period and now I'll see you never." It's like, "Oh, we fixed your
Yeah.
period." And then 5 years later, there's a stressor or a baby or, like, whatever
Yep.
happens, and it's like, "Okay, let's put the pieces together of how to help you feel back to that version of yourself, or whatever the new version of yourself is in
Yeah.
this, like, age and stage and moment of your life."
Yeah. Big time. And that's totally been me and my journey that, I'm not coming to flow every month to address the same thing. I'm coming when I need it.
Mhm.
And sometimes I come when I don't because I just trust that you're probably gonna find something that could be better or ask me a
Yeah.
question I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
And I love the point that you mentioned is, like, not necessarily always getting back to how I used to feel, but
Mhm.
I've also learned through this journey the complexities of my body, what's going on, and that there's always a slightly different version that we're striving
Mhm.
to be well. I mean, that's something that's just part of the journey, I think, of getting older and going through different stages of life, but I'm glad that I had someone along the journey with me for sure.
Yeah. And it just helps you figure out where to put your energy, right? Like in this season, where does my energy need to go? What's the lever to pull that's going to have the biggest impact for
Mm,
how I want to feel? And what is realistic
yeah,
in my current situation and whatnot. It's like putting those pieces together to support you in whatever season.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, Erica, thank you so much for sharing your experience. I really appreciate like the vulnerability and the realness, you bring to the conversations that we have in the clinic, but also for sharing that with folks so that they can feel excited about engaging with a naturopathic doctor and like inspired to do so, hopefully. And I'm just so grateful for your time and for your presence as a patient and in our community. So thank you.
Thank you. I feel so taken care of by you and everyone at the clinic. Like I really believe that naturopathic medicine is for everyone. It's not just for a certain group of people. There's something valuable in it for every person. And if you're willing to give it a try, I pretty much guarantee you can put this me on the record that you're at least going to leave having learned something about yourself and like what a gift that is. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much.